Bit of jamage to kick things off.
Encore de jamage to... pedal show.
Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello. That was nice.
That was fun.
That was nice. It's nice to have the full pedal board out for a
Yeah.
change. As you
Yeah,
can see,
man.
Dan and I have come packing.
We are prepared. We have victory in our sights.
Yeah. So, as you will know, we did a show. Well, as you may know, regular watchers will know, and if you're new to That Pedal Show, welcome. And hello also to all the podcast listeners.
Yes, hello podcast listeners.
We haven't said hello to you guys for a while. So yes, hello to you guys. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the screen to the right of me because we're employing technology today, and whenever we employ technology, well, it's an interesting challenge for us. So we did a show a few weeks back where we were both pretty stony-faced throughout the whole episode.
This was one of the last shows we recorded at the old place.
Yeah, and it was one of the reasons we had some noise issues.
We did.
As we've got today. You shut up. We're causing noise, and it was time to move. And so, when the neighbours finally snapped,
It was spectacular.
we were going to lose a whole filming day. And we thought, no, we're not going to lose a whole filming day. So we did a direct show, and we just plugged in, and it was very rudimentary. We had a couple of attenuators, and we went direct, and we were like, well, a speaker simulation, wasn't it? Thomas Blue Box, straight off a attenuator off the Marshall, and it was difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the first time I'd certainly ever done anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and what was really interesting was the feedback from you guys, and thank you guys, everyone so much, the comments, we really appreciate it.
We upset a lot of people, didn't we, with that show?
Well, it was fascinating because that is the way a lot of people,
reality.
the reality for a lot of people, is to sat there listening to their guitar through headphones.
As you know, Dan and I aren't big fans of reality.
Which is what we've created, Shangri-La.
In a pure, in a sort of self-ruining effort of avoiding all kind of reality when it comes to playing the guitar.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, we need to look at this a bit closer. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone all out.
Yeah. Well, we've gone partially out. I've dripped water all over my guitar, which is fine.
Well, this is all out for me. This is as much out as I could possibly imagine.
Yeah, there's some things that we don't know how to use. That's for sure, which we'll get to.
Right.
And there's some things that we do.
Okay.
So explain your rig, Daniel.
Oh, okay. So I have my pedal board going straight into the Marshall, which is attenuated with the aux, and the aux is also has the cabinet emulator, which is also then going to Universal Audio, and we shall be monitoring that through headphones. Shall I show my headphones?
Yeah,
we'll get there in a bit.
We'll get there in a
because
bit.
they're also very exciting.
So yeah, I have exactly the same kind of setup. I've got Victory V30 Mark II, which is very exciting. I've been making some videos for Victory, so I thought we'd get a listen to it. That is going through a 2 notes Torpedo Studio, which I'm going to say now, I don't really understand. There's a couple of annoying things I found out about it this morning, which you will tell me or not if I'm correct.
It doesn't attenuate?
It doesn't attenuate. It either attenuates fully or not at all.
Right.
So if you have the cab through plugged in, your cab is at the level that the amp's at, whereas the aux enables you to attenuate down. So it does. It's a load box in that you can plug in direct, and we'll do that in a sec. And I'm really sorry if I can't find this out, but I've been on forums, I've read the manual, I've done everything except phone 2 notes, which is probably the thing I should have done. I don't think you can attenuate.
Right.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
Literally all or nothing. And that is, same thing. Both amps are mic'd up with our new Neumann TLM 102s. And then both direct boxes are going straight to the Universal Apollo 8P interface, so that in the mix we can choose what we listen to, and you'll know what's happening there because I'll put captions on screen. Blimey O'Reilly. And it's been an interesting morning.
It's been very interesting.
Danish Pete popped in.
He did.
Give him a...
Danish Pete.
Danish Pete popped in for 2 reasons. One, to deliver the aux box, because we borrowed that from Anderton's. There's a lot of people think that we are Andertons and that we're in the same place. We're about 100 miles from there. And
We are.
Bizarrely, Pete lives just up the road and he was having a day off today. So
Yes, but we love Pete. He's a dear friend, and he popped in today. It's always good to see him. He always brings a certain energy.
yes, a certain energy and an exciting something that he showed us, which
Yes,
we can't
we
talk
say
about.
no more.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Say no more. Right. So that's what we've got. So now the UA aux box is controlled by an iPad interface, which I have here to my right. Simon will do some details of that in due course. So I got the power
You have the power.
of control,
That's a massive iPad.
isn't it?
Wow. Okay.
The Torpedo Studio does have application control, but it's via PC or Mac.
Okay.
The Mac is doing the recording. It's got all its things full up with hard drives, with universal audio. So plugging it into the computer is not an option for us today. So everything's coming off the front panel.
The iPad just Bluetooth to the aux, is that right?
It does.
Wow.
Actually, I think the aux has its own Wi-Fi network and it connects that way.
The aux has its own satellite.
Yeah. So I don't know, if you're Apple fanboy like me and you, Simon's just gone over to the dark side. Actually, just bought a PC for the first time ever.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Apple just can't keep up with his our 4K video editing requirements. So he's had to buy something with a bit more horsepower.
Right.
But you know, iOS devices, yes, total Apple fanboy. So to me, having iOS control is, well, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it means I would buy that and I wouldn't buy that. Simple, done.
Yeah.
Because I can't be doing with that
Yeah.
computer.
One
Go
of the
away.
things with the two notes, though, it was industry standard for a long time. And when you listen to like Reverb used them forever and got
Oh,
some,
yeah.
and so
It's proven.
exactly. And when we did the aux show, loads of guys have said you've got to try the two notes out.
Yeah.
You know, and we have, and they're fantastic. You know, so
Yeah,
I'm just saying there's a bunch of different things that you can.
Yeah,
You know,
and if you will throughout this video, you will feel you will want to comment. Oh, you haven't downloaded the extra IR pack, and you haven't made your own IRs, and you haven't put it in stereo, and you haven't done all these things that you can do to tweak further.
Right.
For me, it's got to come out the box. You've got to plug it in, and it's got to work, and it's got to sound great. Otherwise, I'm done. I'm just done at that point.
Also, because there's so many other things that have got to be plugged into to make it work. You know,
I'm already. I don't know what the hell I'm going to play today because my brain is full of technology.
you play beautiful. Cool. Okay.
Okay, so let's get some sounds up that we like.
Okay.
And maybe
The reason that we're using our own boards as well is just because we're really familiar with these sounds. So we wanted to.
once again, not me so much. We said this last week. I've had a bit of there's all kinds of stuff comes in and out
Right.
so
Well,
frequently,
yeah.
but yes, more familiar.
More familiar.
More familiar. And I can only apologise to Dan for mine being so untidy at the moment.
Oh, dude. It's great.
Look, I mean, you can see the difference between us, can't you?
Dude, well, everything, the untidiness is under the, you don't want to, I don't want to say, you don't want to lift a skirt.
She said. Right, so let's start with you then. This will be interesting. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the UAD control panel just to monitor some levels while we do this.
Okay. And so this is the mic sound we're going to hear?
Well, we're going to play and I'll make decisions in the
Okay.
edit what you're actually hearing. But yeah, I think we'll start with the sound of the amp.
Okay.
And just to say that the Marshall is currently attenuated. In fact, play and I'll explain as it happens.
Okay. Ah, that's lush. And that's just the Marshall. There's nothing else going on there.
Yep.
Woo! Top end just go crazy?
It did. The top end just went crazy because the aux has 5 levels of attenuation.
Right.
It was at 3. It's now at 4, i.e. 5 being no attenuation at all.
Okay.
And what we have noticed is that as you attenuate... I haven't weed myself, by the way. This is the water I just spilled on myself. And what is it about spilling water that whenever you spill water, it's always there, isn't it? Like you wash your hands in a service station, you do that, and it's like. Anyway, so here's the Marshall wide open.
Oh man,
Give me love, give me love.
Yeah.
It's just banging. It's just banging. Here's one level of attenuation down.
All the top end's gone.
Yep.
Can you adjust for that?
Not on the aux, you can't.
Okay.
The only thing I could do is
No, it's fine. It's just it's interesting. That's one of the things I like about the power station's attenuation.
yeah,
Is that you can, when you adjust the amount of attenuation, you can then tweak.
yeah.
Because so what's happening there is that the speakers are being driven differently and sounding different.
I guess so.
Right.
And you know, if you turn the amp up, you lose high end anyway, don't you? Or at least, should I say, the high end comes into line more with what the rest of the amp's doing.
Right.
So you know, the Plexi sounds super spiky and urgent and all of those things when it's really quiet. The minute you turn it up, that all goes away.
Yeah.
And it starts.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
But
give
this,
you,
no.
keep going. I'll give you more high treble channel. Keep going.
No, I mean I liked how it was when it was wide open. I think that's the thing for me, is that I totally get it that when you turn it up it's going to sound different, but what we're doing is attenuating.
Yeah.
So the speakers are being driven differently. The amp should still be driving exactly the same.
It's knocking a ton of top end off. isn't
Yeah,
it?
there you go.
Massive
Yeah,
amount.
very interesting.
So let's go. So try this.
That's great. Great.
So I tell you what I want is a level of attenuation between the two,
Yeah, okay.
because the next level of attenuation asks the amp to work too hard, and then it just starts overdriving massively, which of course is probably what you want from your Plexi. So play a sec, and this is, it starts to sound pretty glorious.
Get in. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so for me, for a lot of people, that's the sound of a Marshall. You know, it's driving a bit, and it's a very odd experience because you're getting quite a lot of the tonal characteristic and gain characteristic, but none of the volume characteristic, and the two separated are odd for me.
Yeah. There's more to a loud Marshall than just the sound of a loud Marshall. There's a whole physical experience to that as well. Do you remember that thing we did when we were in Germany? And Pete Thorne did that video. Oh, Pete Thorne. Sorry, look, I'm no good with the PARP.
It needs to come to the Part Master General.
And so basically Pete locked a whole bunch of people, including us, into a room with a cranked Marshall.
100 watt Plexi. Yeah.
100 watt Plexi.
It's a great video if you get a
cranked.
chance to watch it.
and it rattled your bones, and it was the, you know, and when you hear it back and the amp is absolutely dimed, it's like, yeah, I mean, it sounds great, but I just remember being in there and I'll never forget it. I was just rattling for days.
Yeah, it was. So I think that's a good place from which to proceed.
Okay.
Let's set that Marshall at a level and a sound that you like, that you're happy with, that isn't crazy loud. So let's keep it real world.
Yes.
Because to try and compare a direct sound and a really loud amp is just pointless.
Because there's too much physical experience.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
So
okay,
let's go for a real world in the room volume.
Okay.
I will encourage you to have slightly less overdrive going on in the amp than that, because I think it's, well, actually no, you get a sound you like. Tell me what you like.
All right. There's too much drive. I mean, that sounds great, but yeah, it needs a bit more headroom. You're getting there. A bit more top end.
That's it, because, okay, so there isn't any more headroom.
Right.
I think something in the aux is asking that amp to do more work than...
Interesting.
Let me check. I'm just going to check the impedance a minute. 16 ohms. 16 ohms. 2 speaker. 2 amp. Amp is set at 16 ohms. Everything is as it should be.
Okay.
Just try that set.
There you go.
If you wanted it any more headroomy than that, I'd have to put it up to the next level of attenuation and turn it down, turn the amp down.
No.
You sure?
Yeah, that's great. Let's try a few pedals. So. Happy.
Happy with that sound?
Happy with that.
So now we're going to ask you to put the headphones on then. So the object of this exercise is to... So you're feeling that and you feel...
Yeah, I can play with that.
You sure it's
There's
headroomy
lots of sounds there. Yeah, that's all good.
I'm going to make a note to myself here for when I'm doing the audio edit. There's not much presence and high end, is there? There's not much sparkle there.
No.
There's not much super sparkly stuff.
No. But because I've got the telly,
Yeah.
and it's so cutting anyway. You know what? Can you put a little tiny bit of top in just to the treble?
The only way I can do it is if we...
Or just turn the presence up or the treble up.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, great.
So again, we're on level three of the speaker volume on the aux. interesting. Sorry, my brain is just trying to work out what we're going to do next. Okay, so you're happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
When we did the last show and we put my Sennheiser HD25s, there was a chorus of disapproval for those headphones from the audience about what rubbish headphones they were. You know, every headphone has its place.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used those headphones for everything for a long time. But yes, nice set of different headphones could change the experience. So Dan and I have both acquired different headphones for today. Dan, what have you got?
Okay. I bought... So this is... I just need to show you the case first. Snazzy. So I just like the magnetic clip. Anyway, so these are the Neurophones. And I posted a picture of this on our Instagram page. And everyone's going, I'm on bordering on the edge. What do you think? So they're really interesting. These headphones scan your ears.
How do they do that?
Right. It's a... Have you ever seen a test when a baby's born? They put a little thing in its ear just to see what its hearing's like. Basically,
that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
I thought they were downloading the chip.
So they
You will conform, you will get a job, you will be boring.
pay taxes.
Yeah.
What's happening is they're putting frequencies, little tones into the ear, and there's an echo back from the eardrum, and that echo, the information in that echo tells you the quality of the
Oh, no way. So it's not even a thing where you go, can you hear this? Yes, no.
No.
It does it totally automatically.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy.
So they give you a profile. Everyone has their own profile. And it's fascinating. I did this with everyone in the office, and people just, you know, it's such a different experience. Now, for listening to music, I can say I've never had an experience like these headphones.
That was going to be my next question. What's the purpose?
Yeah.
So what are they trying to achieve?
The purpose of, I spent the whole day listening to Crowded House and XTC. Spent the whole day. And it's like, and I know those albums, I've listened to them thousands of times, and I know them back to front. And it was like, I'm hearing things in them I've never heard before. It was like listening to them for the first time. It was incredible. And I watched a movie with them on, and amazing. So the idea is, you've got these things go in your ears, but then there's a separate sort of subwoofer on the externally.
Oh, I see.
So you can sort of get a balance between what's going on here and then an external subwoofer.
Oh, interesting.
And they are open. They're not noise cancelling.
Yeah.
But the seal, because you've got one seal in your ear, another seal around the ear.
Yeah. Pretty enveloping.
It's absolutely enveloping.
I think that's what it looks like inside a kangaroo's pouch. Don't you?
Yeah, it's very close.
I've never seen it, but I think that's what it looks like.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to... This is... I want to see as reference headphones, because that's what this is, right?
Well, yeah, so I did the opposite. I said, technology, go away. I'm going to buy the headphones that most people say are, you know, an industry standard in mixing and mastering, right? So they're not like £500-600. They're about £180. I bought them, went onto Amazon and I bought them. As I understand it, these are the SM57 of monitoring and mixing headphones. They are,
they look comfy.
Lots of people will have, so they are Beyerdynamic DT880 Pros. Now, everyone has preferences. A lot of people say, oh, there's not enough bass or blah, blah, blah. Everyone's got different preferences for headphones, but lots of people use these. I've been listening to them for 2 or 3 days. I've left music playing in them overnight, should they need wearing it. I've literally no idea. And same as you, I have had an epiphanal experience in listening to stuff that has not always been pleasant.
Wow.
I can literally hear new plugins on stuff. So I'm listening to a piece of recorded music and I'm going, oh, hang on a minute, there's a reverb I've never heard there before.
Wow.
And I can hear cuts.
Yeah.
Where they've spliced takes together.
Yeah.
I can hear stuff that I could not hear on the HD25s.
Right.
So the danger now is I've got to get used to what these actually sound like.
Okay.
They've got vastly less bass.
Wow.
Or at least they've got less obvious bass.
Okay.
So it's a truer representation. Well, it feels to me like it's a truer representation. So whether they're better, worse, or whatever. It's a different listening experience. And crucially, which is the feedback that a lot of you gave us when we did the last show, get some open back ones so you get some feeling of what's going on around you. So,
okay,
what I'm saying is we've made some effort to improve things.
Yeah. So, open back to get the feeling of what's going on around you. Would that matter if we're turning the amps off? If we're doing totally...
It doesn't make any sense to me. The idea with open back studio headphones is the driver's got more room to move.
Oh, okay, right.
So it's not they're not enclosed in a space which brings its own set of resonances.
Got it.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I don't know. Clearly, this is a rabbit hole down which we could disappear. So the point of the exercise is they are very different from the headphones we used last time.
Yes.
And therefore we have put some effort into trying to improve things for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So before you put them on, let me have a look at them. Wow. Get some schwang going, play, get used to it, enjoy the feel. Glorious. So what I've done, I'm going to give you a mix eye view of things, is I've turned the aux box down to 0, so if Dan plays now nothing will come out. Here's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
There's what's happening on the aux box. And that's our universal audio console.
Can you turn this up a little bit?
Airplane mode. Right. First of all, I'm going to turn.
Just from there.
No. I need to mute the room mics, so you can't hear what's happening through the room mics.
Okay.
These mics are already muted, and you will confirm to me now, Dan, if I unmute this, you can hear my voice a bit
there
better.
you are.
Okay, right. So they're muted. I'm going to mute everything on here except the aux box, and I'm just going to check that we are still recording everywhere else. Yes, we are. One nice thing about the console is you can mute, and it doesn't mute what you're recording, it only mutes what you're monitoring. So Dan, you can now hear the aux box.
I can now hear the aux box. Is that what you said? Okay. Bit louder. Right. Very interesting. When you turn the treble up to make for the difference between when you attenuated down, we lost the treble.
Yeah.
Now there's too much treble.
So you can hear it. So
yeah.
you tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Okay, all right. Can we turn?
Actually, just while we're on that subject, I'm going to give you, Dan, you play away. I will explain what's happening while I do it.
Okay.
You've currently got 3 microphones on this cabinet, 3 virtual microphones. You've got a U67, which is somewhat similar to the Neumann we're already using.
Yep.
You've got a Royal 121, and you've got the room mics.
Okay.
So here you go. Here is the U67. I'm going to turn up the Royal 121.
Okay.
And here are the virtual room mics.
So
I'm going to mix the two.
not so much of the first one. Now I don't need the treble turned down. Oh man, I tell you what. You're gonna have to try these headphones. It sounds really good.
I'm going to see what I can hear through my old Bayer DT Synth 773, which is different kind.
And just turn the master up, as in from the headphone control.
What do you want?
The headphone control.
Yeah.
Just up a tiny bit. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and the first mic down a little bit.
Or do you want just the treble turning down?
No, just the first mic down a touch. Yeah, come on! Yeah, man.
Simon's looking confused.
I can hear a weird noise.
It might be coming out of my headphones.
No, it's just me playing.
Right, I want you to do, just before we move on, turn your reverb off. Keep playing.
Ah, yeah! Bit less. Yeah.
So I apologise for not screen capturing that, but what you got there was... What you got there, Dan, was...
Oh, God, hang on, that's really loud now. Hang on, no, that's good. Okay, they're off now.
What happened there was I asked Dan to turn off his reverb and delay on the pedal board, and the UA aux has them as essentially loop effects.
Right.
So I added a plate reverb and a delay.
Right.
A dual delay, in fact.
So,
Yeah.
it was great. I mean, these headphones sound very big anyway, but once we got it, the different level of the microphone sorted out, because it was a lot of top end, but the second mic was really warm, the first mic was really toppy. Once you just brought that down,
Yeah, each of the
there.
mics have EQ as well, so you can EQ the mics as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was trying to work out how to
That's
do
so
that, but the
impressive.
EQ didn't seem to be having any effect. Because I didn't have it turned on, maybe.
There it is.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, as always, takes a minute just to get used to this stuff. But yeah, so both of the mics, but plus, lest we forget that in the aux, the same as any decent speaker simulation thing, you can choose a whole variety of cabinets, a whole variety of microphones, positions, all of that. What I like about this is that it doesn't give you every option.
Yeah.
It gives you a curated bunch of options, and when that curation has been done by James Santiago, who is like...
Have you heard him play guitar?
Yep.
He is awesome.
James is... I don't actually know what his job is, but he's a Universal Audio person.
Dude at Universal Audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can tell because he's spent a lot of time with guitar gear. He's such a tasty player, and there's been a couple of clips. You see him going through the aux online. It's like he's awesome. But he really knows the sounds of the cabs and the mics, and I think they're all his personal stash,
I
aren't
think they like whenever modelling happens, they always say, we got the best stuff available and we modelled it. However it works, I don't know. And for me, the question isn't if you stick a U87 on a Marshall 412 with greenbacks, and then you model it and then you listen to it, do they sound exactly the same? I mean, I don't know. That's a moot question as far as I'm concerned. The more interesting question for me is there a combination of stuff in there that gets me to a place that I'm happy?
So, what the most immediate thing for me was, because I know that amp, and it wasn't like being in the room with the amp.
And yeah, okay.
Right? But it was the sound of the amp, and things were reacting. So like the way that fuzz reacts into that amplifier is a specific thing, and it's the bottom end goes, and it was doing that. The D&M Drive, when you that run into an amplifier that's working a little bit, it comes alive. It's fantastic. But if the amplifier has got a lot of headroom, I've got to set it up very differently than this. And so my first thing was, okay, I've got headphones in, it's going into, plug-in land.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that clean, spiky digital thing. It's not there.
So just do me a favour then. I'm going to unattenuate the Marshall again.
Okay.
Completely.
Yep.
And I want you to just play a little bit, and I'm not going to change anything on aux.
Okay.
So, because for me, I'll tell you what I think I'm hearing after we hear it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to check the level a sec. Here's aux back up to unattenuated.
Wow.
stop, put your headphones on.
Sorry, it takes a little while to get these in because I've got to stick them into my blinking jiu-jitsu ears. Oh, come on. There we go. Right.
It's the tongue I liked.
I need a bit more top end. Is it the mic set up the way we set them up there?
Exactly the same.
Okay, just turn that first mic up a little bit then.
Okay, hold on.
It's very good. It's very good. It's
Sorry, I didn't have my
really
headphones on.
impressive.
Go on.
There is
Yeah, I'm
something with the start of the note, right? Listen to this. Is there a compressor on there?
There isn't, but it leads me to my observation.
Okay.
And my observation is, once you attenuate the amp a bit, the aux sounds and the amp sounds are super similar.
Okay.
With the amp wide open, they are quite different,
Right.
I think. Because that viscerality and that fast attack, everything you were just talking about, is kind of gone in the simulation, would you say? Now,
The thing is,
that could be a mic positioning thing. It could be there was some there's some pretty obvious pre-delay there in the room mics. Let me just turn the room mics off a minute.
okay. Come here, ear. There you go. Oh, ow. And just turn my headphones down a tad. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Different, isn't it?
Look, it's different, but as an experience. So when we did this originally, I was stink face. I could and I was
Petulant child, I
was
think the comment said, Dan.
petulant child, because I was there going, look, listen to it's acoustically. I said that's so much better than what I'm listening to, but that it still sounds like the amplifier. Yes, you lose the viscerality unless I put on some sort of electric shock suit.
Yeah. Well, back to the old drum stills
All that
with
stuff, you know.
with things in them.
However,
Hey!
however, it was enjoyable.
So
Now this is going to be fun because because you're doing everything over there, so I'm just going to sit here and just sort of,
it's fine.
see if I can do nothing.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun were you having in
Compared
show
to the
one?
real amp. Oh, in show one,
Yeah.
1. After, it did get better, but my overriding memory of that was just because I've never done anything like that before. You know what I mean? So I hadn't had to adjust to that sort of sensation. I remember after we set the blue guitar up and things got a lot better. So let's say 4.
So at the beginning it was 1, by the end it was 4.
By the end it was 4.
Sorry, yeah. And where are we now?
With this,
Yeah.
I'd have to
10 is amp blaring.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a solid 8.
Wow, that's progress. And what do you put that down to so far then?
Because I can hear the amp. So
Some of it's got to be the aux box.
these are great.
Yeah, some of it's the headphones.
Yeah.
Some of it's more careful setting up
Yeah.
and tweaking.
Yeah.
I'm putting words into your mouth.
No, but so I've got my board into an amp that I know, and part of it's that. Part of it is knowing the sounds, right? And then hearing that, it's like, yeah, there's my sounds. I'm again fascinated to hear how this is going to come out recorded. But in these, so I've got the bottom end that these have in them, which I just didn't get last time. But the bottom end in these are incredible. So when I'm doing the gong, 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 it's going, it's
you're getting it.
really getting that. It's not the visceral experience. It's not that immediacy. But I could very happily monitor with these in a control room from recording very happily. The other obvious thing that you don't get is the interaction between the amplifier and the guitar.
Yeah.
Yep. But that said, I hit it a bit harder. Happy days. It's all good.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
I was going to get going, but what people are screaming at the screen right now is, please plug down into the 2 notes and do a comparison. So it might be that I don't end up playing in this video.
Oh,
because,
no.
Because this is the question that everybody wants answered, isn't it? Should they get this or should they get this? And I think, having just played that, you need to play this. And at least even if it's only for a few minutes.
Okay.
Even if it's only for a few
minutes. Let's do that at the end. Let's do that at the end.
No, we've got to do it now because it's in your brain. Right. We need to just pause while I work out how the hell to do this.
All right.
Okay, back in the game. All I've done is replaced what the aux was doing with the 2 notes. So now you're going through the 2 notes. Now, as I said at the top, doesn't seem like you can turn the attenuator down in the 2 notes, so it's either on or off. Okay, so we need to set up a sound in the Marshall to begin with. Actually, we don't need to do that at all. We just need to play the direct sound.
Yep.
So I'm going to unplug. Man.
So this is exactly the same as we had going into the
It
aux.
just feels like the most unnatural thing in the world, unplugging a speaker, but it's a load box and that's all good. Right, give us some schwangling. Whoa. Okay, so we've had a bit of fun just setting the levels correctly, the input and the output levels, to try and get rid of some digital noise and to get you to a place that's happy. So we're totally silent, we don't have any attenuation, the Marshall is just banging, so I would imagine if we wanted to get some drive out of the Marshall at this point, we would turn it up and turn the input level of the 2 notes down. So just play for a bit and I will... I don't have the app, I'm afraid, on the computer, so we're tweaking from the front panel, and the power amp simulation is turned off. So I've got a Brit standard 2x12 selected. Maybe we'll make that a 4x12.
That's better. Bit of top end went. Ah, no. It's better.
The reason the top end went was because I changed the microphone from a U87 condenser to the 121 ribbon.
Okay.
So let's go to a 57,
okay,
shall we? Something's crapping out.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Something's being hit too hard.
nothing is clipping anywhere. Everything is well within tolerance.
Okay.
So it's something else. Let's carry on. So we went from a Royal 121 to a 57, which is when it got really bright.
Yep.
And then eventually I found the parameter that let me move it
Okay.
off the centre, which is what took that
Right.
took that horrible stuff away. I'm just going to try a few more mics. Keep going.
Okay.
How are you getting on, Dan?
Yeah, good.
I'm just going to add something for you. Keep going. The reason I was laughing so much was because I was applying a plug-in to your channel and wondering why it wasn't going to work because I was applying it to the wrong channel. I've put in the Universal Audio Ocean Way Studios, which is their model of the Ocean Way Studios room reverbs. I cannot work out how to get it less wet, so I won't spend too long on this other than keep going just for a second. How much has that made a difference?
Huge.
So, as I said, I've added a plugin via the Universal Audio Apollo 8P, this Ocean Way Studios, which is their simulation of Ocean Way Studios. I managed to not be monitoring the right thing, which is why I couldn't hear the dry signal. Anyway, be interesting. To see what makes it to the edit during that bit, because there was a lot of messing about. Don't know the software very well, but the point of doing it was there's not room miking available in the 2 notes unless you have it A, B. There's 2 channels. We've only got it mono because we don't have enough inputs. Okay. And I presume if you use A and B, you can then have another mic. We've only got 1 mic, right? So unlike the aux where you've got everything and it can be mono, so you can blend 2 mics and a room mic.
Okay.
I can't work out a way how to do that in that. You might be able to, and I apologise. If you can, it may require the on-screen editor and all the rest of it. Honestly, it drives me nuts, all that stuff. So it may be awesome and it may work, and I apologise if it does, but I can't work out how to do it from the front panel in 10 minutes.
Sure. Interestingly enough, though...
And it only arrived this morning, so no, I couldn't practice.
Interestingly enough, it still sounds really good.
Sounds great, especially when you add those room mics.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, and
I just want to play just a couple different
it.
sounds, and just
do me a favour, just have that exact sound again, but without your reverb.
Okay.
Is that possible?
So that's added room and space.
It seems very simple to me. It seems playing direct, getting a good sound in your ears and enjoying it is, lo and behold, adding a sense of space.
Mm.
You can't get that physical pump in the chest, and you cannot get that interaction between guitar and speaker, which is essential if you want to do things like feedback, if you're looking for that feedback loop between the guitar and speaker. That is just not available in headphones. It's more available were you using some studio monitors.
Yeah.
more available, but it's not the same in any way, shape or form as using this. But add a bit of reverb, whether it's something like Ox's own inbuilt reverbs, the room mics themselves are reverb of sorts, or as we did with the 2 notes, adding a plug-in. That's all I did. I added a plug-in. God, I hope it recorded.
It's
and that is chalk and day,
night
isn't
and
it?
cheese.
Yeah.
Compared to what we did last time, I really wanted to just try your headphones briefly as well, because this thing, you know, I put them on, right? It goes, "Welcome back, Daniel." So it remembers my, you know, they're so weird. You put them down, they turn off, right? As soon as you pick them up and put them on your head, they turn on.
I think you'll find this very weird indeed after what you've just been listening to.
Okay. Right.
Unfortunately, the left ear is the other one.
Sorry. I'm ambidextrous. Wow. That's all mids and tops.
More volume or less?
Just no.
No.
That sounds... No, the bottom end's there. But the bottom end in this thing is nuts.
They are music listening headphones.
They're music listening headphones. So, like you said, the detail that you hear, I can hear every wave, I can hear every, you know, breakup on every wave in this thing. Yeah, that's detailed like nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
Not exactly a pleasant listening experience.
That's not, no, but this is fun. This is, hang on. Wow. So, yeah, the right headphones for this is just as important as everything else combined.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, back to the top, I think my HD25s sound more like, I mean, they're not going to sound like that, but they're much more a music listening headphone and a sort of keep you happy headphone than a critical listening headphone, because you don't want to be critical listening when you're trying to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. Wow, dude, you've got to try it though, because you've got to experience.
No, because we are way over time.
Okay.
So we'll pick up. You can hear the V30 Mark II in another video, but we've gone so in depth there that I think to complicate matters further, and I think it made much more sense to do the comparison. Otherwise, if I'd have plugged in with a totally different pedal board, different guitars, different headphones, it would have made no sense. We were able to bring some form of comparison.
Sure.
So the killer question then is, where's your application for any of what we've done today?
Well, because I'm not studio guy, I'm, plug it in at home, stick some headphones on, have some fun. It's got to be the aux, because I can turn on the iPad, get the sounds I want, throw some room reverb, it's all there. I can see exactly what's going on, and it's easy. But I will say that the level of, what you can do in the 2 notes is...
Even though we barely scratched
the surface.
Didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
And the sound was good.
The sound was really good. I mean, easily comparable. Comparable.
Yeah.
It's just the application, it's the interface.
Yeah. It's pretty clear for me. Anyone who likes plug and play...
Yeah.
also wants an attenuator.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't
and
it?
is iOS minded. I
Yeah.
mean, who knows if they'll do an Android thing for that. If they don't, that's insane. But
Yeah.
maybe they will.
Now, there are other two-note stuff that does attenuation. And,
Yes, there is. There's the
so
reload, which I think does. But I don't know. To be honest, my product knowledge isn't that great with it because I am not that person
Yeah.
who puts the thing on the desk, gets the app up on my computer,
Yeah.
has everything running all at the same time. I mean, throw me under a bus. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the mental wherewithal
Yeah.
to do that and play the guitar.
Yeah.
With that,
One of the
even I can use it.
yeah, absolutely.
And it sounds like a reasonable attenuator. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say a great attenuator because I
Yeah.
think there's no doubt that you do lose that viscerality
Yeah.
of the unattenuated.
The
amp.
I prefer the power station for attenuation because it
Yeah.
gives you that immediate, you can dial that top end back in,
Yeah.
and bottom end for that matter.
I mean, there is. Remember, there is EQ.
Sure.
There is EQ throughout.
Yeah, but
Individual mics and
I just meant
master.
the sound coming through the cab.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Right, because you don't have you can't
Exactly.
change to what's coming to. Sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood.
Exactly. There are loads of guys who have two notes or auxes and they're set up in their rooms doing demos and things, which is great because they can't turn their amps up. We have the luxury that we can use real amplifiers and have since day one. So this is the first time really going down this rabbit hole for us, and it's a rabbit hole you can just keep going down and down and down.
Yeah. We didn't talk about latency.
No.
So 2 notes in the manual, and I don't know about UA, but I would imagine so as well. The minute there's any AD conversion, ADDA, one of my favourite bands, there is latency. So if you mic an amp and you have the 2 notes version of it, they're going to be out.
Right.
So you need to correct for that phase cancellation.
Yes.
Because one's going to be slightly delayed latency.
Yeah.
So if you try and mix those two signals and it sounds weird and phasey, that's what's happening.
The original signal you'll need to delay a bit to match up with the latency. Yeah.
Which we may get into that, or you need to bring the other one back a bit. But that will all be interesting in the edit.
Really interesting. Really interesting.
Cool. Well, I think the UA auxes will get added to our arsenal.
Absolutely. We should have soon the other half of the video we recorded down at Real World Studios, where we were Mick and I wrote a couple of songs because we wanted to see how the aux worked in a track.
Yeah.
And we just got the masters back, so we'll see if we can get that together because it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Track sounds great. So,
yeah.
Not sure if we can get into any. I'm gonna have to get the stems off Tom if we want to get into any sort of gruesome comparisons.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that.
I think we'll get an aux for the show so we can back and forth. But fascinating.
I just want to point out, you bought those headphones with your own money.
I sure
How much did they cost?
350 quid.
Okay, I bought these with my
tell
own
my
money,
wife.
£180.
Right.
So if at any point it seems like we're trying to sell anything here, it's all bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Aux is lent to us, 2 notes is lent to us by Everton's.
I think, and you know, I've enjoyed the experience with these, but that's just to say that the headphones do make a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
and wildly different.
Yeah.
That's the
Absolutely.
point. It's wildly
Yeah.
different, which of course is what you all said in the first video anyway. So we were trying to put that to the test and do it live.
Brilliant. I really hope you enjoyed that, guys. I found that fascinating.
Yeah, me too.
Next time you play, and I'll pretend to press buttons over that side. Okay, it's been a long show, so massive thank you to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe is...
Anderson Music of Guildford, Surrey, thank you for lending us this stuff.
Yes, in the US of A is...
Riff City Guitar of New Hope, Minnesota, who I think are opening a new store.
Really?
I saw something on Instagram, they're doing something. Yeah.
Can we go over and...
We ought to.
Yeah. Yes, and in Australia is...
Pedal Empire of
Brisbane, Queensland.
Yeah.
Also, massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. And finally,
That pedal show store.
please head over to that pedal show store and grab yourself some That Pedal Show accoutrement.
Yes, t-shirts. We've got some new ones coming soon as well.
Awesome.
Maybe even by the time this video comes out.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.